Good morning, everyone. This is Jeff from Daily Drivers, and today I am doing the all-new 2022 Chevy Silverado. This is in the LTZ trim. Not necessarily a whole new body style, but they did refresh the whole infotainment system on the inside, the front grille and the headlights, obviously. So we're going to walk around this thing and just show you some of the differences between a 21 and the 22. So far, nothing really. The pattern on the wheels is a little bit different. Same generic split 5-spoke setup, 20-inch aluminum. You go to the tailgate here, same. The tail lights, the stamped-in Chevrolet on the tailgate. The power up and down tailgate with all your crazy camera modes. That's all the same. That all carried over. Same thing with the little outlet in the bed here. No spray and bed liner, unfortunately. I would love to have one in this, but they did not happen to have one. You can go ahead and put the tailgate up, and you can do so by pressing this button twice, or pressing that, or there's also a button in the dash. So if you do drop this and you forget to put it back up, there's actually a button in there you can hold, and then as it goes up, when it beeps, it's clicked in place and it is good to go. We're going to walk around here, get into the back. The big changes don't start till up front. So in here, you still got your humongous crew cab. Leather seats, of course, with it being an LTZ. Heated seats in the back. Rubber floor liners. I mean, you could take a nap on the floor in this thing. It is insane. You got your Bose sound system. The label on it is up front. You got USB A and C for charging. You got vents back here for AC, not just in the floor. Sunroof, of course. So let's go under the hood here. So the 5.3 does remain unchanged as well. The only thing that's really missing from the earlier model years is there is no longer active or dynamic fuel management. That's been something that's been on constraint for a very long time. So fuel economy does suffer a little bit. The 5.3 still has your 355 horsepower, your 383 pound-feet of torque, driven by a 10-speed automatic. However, fuel mileage is about 14 around town and about 19 miles per gallon on the highway. So it did take a little bit of a dive. The old Silverados that I remember with all those management systems was, if I remember correctly, somewhere around the 16 around town range and around 22 on the highway. So you lost, the mileage deficit isn't really too bad. You lost maybe 2, maybe 3 miles a gallon. I know for a lot of people that could add up, but it's not an insane difference. And then one thing I did like about these is the new daytime running lights. They made them a lot thicker, and when you open them up, they fade. How cool is that? It like fades from one end to the other as it goes around. I think that's the neatest thing. They did raise the bow tie from the middle up to about the upper middle here. They changed the headlights around a little bit. The vents going through here are still about the same. The fog lights were around this area on the 21, but they dropped them a little bit and put them behind these polished chrome cages here. Still got your front and rear park sensors. Let's hop in the driver's seat here. Bose sound system, of course. The mirrors power fold. You got your blind spot monitors in them, your memory seats, and I'll show you how to set those in a little bit here. Now, this is where the changes are. The changes are right here in this screen, as well as the new electronic precision shift is what they call it. So I'm going to go ahead and start it up and press the button just like normal. And the first thing you notice, that sounds different. I think what they did was, in these newer trucks, Tahoes, what have you, they made all of the chimes, instead of this generic beep that they've had for so very long, they made them sound, if this is the right word, they made it sound a lot more elegant. Like it sounds luxurious. And with this system right here, you wouldn't think anything different. I mean, this is awesome. Like, I can't believe there used to be like a little 8-inch right here instead of this 13.2 inch and the 12-inch display cluster right here. It's all digital. Nothing's analog anymore. I mean, everything has Google Maps built in. I know you can still do the phone projection. That's just fine. But Google Maps is completely built in now. Yeah, it's in demo mode, so there's a few little menus you got to go through. Don't get out of that. There we go. How nice is that? That's awesome. I love that. So you do have a few things here. So I actually have my seat set to where I wanted it to. But what you do is, anybody that had memory seats before, I know some of them operate differently. But if you hold set and the number that you want, you could have two different settings and an exit setting. You hold them in, you hear a couple beeps. Now it's saved. So I can completely mess this seat up. I can hunch all the way forward, move it all the way back, down a little bit. If I hold in that number, it goes right back to where it was. Perfect. Every single time. Power windows, power up and down for the front, power down for the back, but you have to hold them to go up for the back. Steering wheel has not changed at all, except for because it has the electronic precision shift, it now has paddle shifters, which is pretty neat. I haven't gotten a chance to test them out yet, but we will later on. So you got your cruise control, heated steering wheel, your front collision alert. On the end of the stick here, you got your automatic high beams, all your windshield wash, wipers. Here, this goes through all your driver menus here. You can scroll down and see all that stuff. Timer, tire pressures, everything you need. Oil life, brake pad life, air filter life. There's a sensor for everything in these. Now, I can go to the home button here. This will show me everything. Audio is your AM, FM, Sirius XM capability if it has it, which it does. Of course, it's an LTZ. Your maps, and you can actually split the screen up however you want. I have the menu here and the maps as a little sidebar here. I'm trying to think. Oh, sorry. It was left to right, not up to down. So your phone, you can pair with Bluetooth just like before. Nothing different there. Your cameras. So this is different. Now this is in other vehicles. It was in the last gen high country, but just not on this humongous screen. So you do still get your surround vision as an option. Front and rear cameras. Front and rear as a zoomed in view of that. Your side mirrors. Your hitch view. And then you can switch between if you want ladders or the hitch guide. And then you also do have a bed view with your hitch guide built in, and it does turn with the wheel, and you can zoom in if you want. Pretty neat stuff. There we go, home. Yep, Google Assistant's all built in. This is your trailering app. Just like before, you could still make your trailer profiles, change settings for each one, so this way it's a lot easier to just plug, choose your trailer profile and go. You don't have to change settings every single time. You could do a trailer light test, so it'll actually tell you what lights do and don't work right on the screen here. Makes trailering a lot easier. They even have a checklist, so it's kind of like trailering for dummies. If you never trailered before in your life, there's a little step-by-step checklist of every single little thing that they think you should do before you leave. There's also the climate here. Again, a lot of people have been doing this. If you don't feel like touching any of these buttons down here, don't worry, they have the option for you. You can change it right here on the screen. All right, you can do the climate on both sides. You can turn it on and off. You can do air conditioning, fan, that kind of stuff. You can get a Wi-Fi hotspot built in with OnStar. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are still something that you can take advantage of. You just have to either have a USB cable or sync it with Bluetooth. So we're going to turn the map back on. And then down here you got your trailer brake controller, same spot it was in with the 19 to 21. You got your heated seats, cooled seats, dual zone climate control, all your fan, AC, everything down there. And then up here, you have your rear camera mirror. So right now it's a piece of glass. You flip it, and now it's a camera. You have your sunroof there, your power slide rear window, and sunroof buttons are up here. Now you can change settings with this. You can dim and brighten it. You can zoom it in and out. And you can move it up and down. I think that's pretty neat. And these buttons here, this turns on and off your lane departure warning and lane keep assist. This one turns off on and off your front and rear park sensors, which, weird story, this does not have the park sensors installed. This was shipped from the factory without those parts because they're having a hard time making them, and then they will later be retrofitted. A lot of companies are doing this right now, so this way vehicles can still get shipped to dealers and they can still sell them without them having to sit in a plant yard for a year waiting for parts. So those will be later retrofitted, but it will have them. This is the auto stop. This shuts the engine off when you come to a stoplight. This is the one that drops the tailgate, and I'll actually show that to you right now. It's pretty neat. We're gonna go to we'll go to the tailgate view right here. We'll go to this one. Nope, not that one. The back view. There we go. So I'm gonna drop it, press the button. Like I said, the chimes are very elegant in these new vehicles now. So now it's down. Now you hold this until it beeps. The second time. Okay. Now it's back up. Pretty cool stuff. Yep, then you, of course, have your hazards, your traction control, downhill descent control. This button just puts all 4 windows down. Pretty interesting. Guess if you want to drop all the windows in a pinch. And I think we're ready to take this thing for a ride. The only thing down here that has stayed the same also is your 4-wheel drive, your bed lights, your gauge lights, your fog lights. Your tow mode is on this button right here. You just press that, and you'll see on the display here it goes from normal to tow haul. And there was a little animation with the trailer. That's pretty neat. It also does that with the driver modes. If you switch between off-road, normal, and sport, it does that as well. Pretty neat. All right, so let's take this thing for a ride. So to shift this, for some people maybe it's a little bit of a learning curve, but it's not too bad. All you have to do, there's this little unlock button on the side here. You just have to hold that in and go whichever direction you want. If you want to go into drive, you just pull it back. If you want to go into reverse, push it all the way forward. And if you want to park it, you just press park. So pretty easy, actually. So we're going to go ahead and put it in drive, and we're ready to go. So we're going to shift this down into low gear and try out the paddle shifters. So you can tell there's actually quite a delay there. I pressed it and it took a couple seconds, so interesting. We'll just leave it in automatic here. Now, as far as towing numbers go, they did stay the same for the most part for this model year. This particular spec, the crew cab with the short box 5.3, is still good for 9,200 pounds. And they actually have towing labels down on the bottom there to show you, specific to the VIN number, how much your exact truck can tow, which I thought was pretty neat. Shows you payload, what the GVW is, and actually it shows you the GVW for both front and rear axles as well. Shows you how much each axle can take, which is pretty neat. So I don't know if you can see in the windshield, but this does have a heads-up display, and not only does it show you the speed limit and the speed that you're going, but it actually has all your driver assists on it. Like if I went over the lines, the lane keep assist would activate, and you can see the little lines might have turned orange. You could kind of see that, and it actually tells you how many seconds I am behind this guy. It has a following distance indicator, so that's pretty neat. We're going to do our thing, getting on the highway here. And that was one of the finance managers for Blaise Chevy, Tom Now. Great guy. All right, here we go. .3 gets up pretty good. That 10 speed certainly helps as well. And you can see I'm pretty close to this guy, about half a second behind him. All right, pretty easy. Go ahead and turn it off. Don't forget your groceries, as always. So I really like the changes of the 22 Silverado. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Love those sequential turn signals, and I will see you guys in the next one.